Let's see what's down here. It's a trapdoor, and it looks like it hasn't been used in a long, long time.
What is this place? Where the devil am I? It seems like the small building at the ground level is just camouflage. The most important part is here underground. Are all of them dissolved? How many patients can there be packed in here? Dozens? Hundreds? This is horrible!
Let's see if this grate can be removed. Perfect. It looks like this hole leads to a passageway on the other side. A tiny lock is preventing me from opening the door, and despite its size, it seems to be very strong. A row of anonymous, ramshackle lockers. I get the impression that everything in here could fall apart at any moment. Maybe in solidarity with those poor unfortunates screaming in the main hall. We must be very deep underground, and the blades of this fan are barely turning at half speed. That explains why the air down here is almost unbreathable. The future is in our hands. Collaborate, rebuild, report. From the text, I say this poster must have been part of a government campaign launched after the Great Wave. This glass cabinet has dozens of medications stored inside, classified by type. Antibiotics, anti-inflammatory drugs, diuretics, and, painkillers. Locked, of course. I'm starting to get annoyed with this sense of ownership I see in all the people with closets, lockers, and other storage furniture in the city. I'd rather use a key to open this case, but I'm a bit short on time, so...
Who is it? Who's there?
Excuse me,
What are you doing here? Have you come to steal something? Take one more step and I'll call the soldiers.
No, wait, please, don't do that.
Security? This is Nurse Uma Grundy. I need you to come right away.
No, wait! You can't turn me in. Those soldiers will kill me if they find me.
You should have thought of that before you walked into this trap. You'd better save your breath and get out of here fast before those savages get here.
I thought the first priority of people in the medical profession was to save lives. And you're going to get me killed.
Don't dare judge me. You have no idea what we're going through in here. Our priority is our patients, and yours should be to get out of here as fast as you can, if you value your life.
Wait a minute. Did you say Uma? Nurse Uma?
Yes, that's my name.
Wait, please don't turn me in. I know your father. I saved his life just a few hours ago. They were going to deport him to the refugee camp, but I was able to stop.
My God. Did you say my father? Tell me, how is he? Has anything happened to him?
Don't worry, Uma. He's sick. He told me about you and your workplace. He was worried. He'll want to know that you're all right. Wait, please don't turn me in.
This is Nurse Uma Grundy. It turned out to be a false alarm. You don't have to come, thank you.
Thank you, Uma. You did the right thing. My name is Michael.
But now you should explain why you burst in here like that. What are you looking for, Michael?
I came to get medicine. I need a cure for the dissolved.
Cure? There's no such thing. You won't find it here or anywhere else. The authorities distributed a memo among the medical staff months ago. I'm sure you can still find a copy of it around here somewhere. It told us that they've definitely abandoned the search for a medicine. You made a mistake risking your life to get in here. The only thing we store here is pain. This place is a tomb for those poor infected devils, but also for the people who work here. I'm sorry, Michael. The dissolved are condemned to death.
That can't be. There has to be a cure. Oh man. Poor Rod. Poor Colin. But I heard in G camp, they said a cure is being produced and stored here. Well, if that's not the case, what's the purpose of a building like this?
The Army deliberately keeps that rumor about a possible cure alive. You see, as long as people still have some hope left, it is much easier to control the city more effectively. But it's a lie.
I understand.
This medical center was built just after the Great War, taking advantage of some abandoned underground facilities. That was when the authorities would work on their project to rebuild the city. They told us the building was used to take in the first patient. Of course, we had no idea the disease would become so widespread. I left my job in a town to come here. I wanted to lend a hand. They demanded total confidentiality about our work to avoid causing panic in the population. Not even my father knew what we were really doing in here.
Yes. Told me that when I asked him about this place.
At first, we treated the patients with great care. There was to ease their suffering and even research into a possible cure. Everything was going smoothly.
And then what happened?
Things started to go wrong. When the number of patients multiplied, couldn't keep up. And then we began to run out of even the most basic supplies. And that was when the Army took complete control of the city.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
Then they sealed off the building. No one was allowed to leave. Not even us. We doctors and nurses have been shut in here for months, isolated without even a glimpse of daylight. They say it's for security. It's for our own safety. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now our medical care is limited to wrapping up the patients in plastic bags, like the ones they use to transport cadavers, and then simply for them to die, doing what little we can do to ease their suffering. Then we dispose of their remains, dissolving the black bags in acid for decomposition. And that's about it. That's all we can do. Resources we have, and sometimes much to bear.
Condemned to die. I heard their cries of pain out there. What really happens to the dissolved?
These people suffer the most excruciating pain and die in the most horrible way I've ever seen. The first symptoms are bouts of and fainting, which become more frequent and prolonged as the disease progresses, until in the end, entire metabolism enters a state of shock, and their entire self dissolves. It simply disintegrates. There's no medical explanation. It just happens. But there's something even stranger about the disease.
What could be stranger than what you just told me?
The dissolved become erratic, unpredictable, eccentric. They're uncontrollable. That's why the Army fears them. They're afraid of their unpredictable behavior, but also of their strange messages. So the sole function of this place is to keep them locked away, hidden, and under the Army's control, until death takes them off their hands, one by one. It's also why people who harbor the dissolved are punished, and it's also the reason for the existence of the brigades.
But I thought they were just controlling the patients to keep the disease from spreading.
But that's a lie. A blatant lie. The spread of the disease is accelerating. The number of cases is multiplying every day. But it's not contained. We doctors and nurses have been treating the sick for months, in direct contact with them remains. And the rate of contagion among us is no higher than out there. The Army is lying.
But then, how is the disease spread?
We don't know, Michael. No one knows. What we do know is that it's not caused by direct contact with the victim. There's a reason for the Army's secrecy about the dissolved. Fear. It's human nature, the unknown. We tend to panic faced with something we don't understand. And this day's disease more than any handle.
And what is it that makes the dissolve so unpredictable and dangerous?
No, Michael. You probably think we're crazy, but I'm telling you, they know. They talk about no one else knows. They sense things. They bring back information from the places they go, and they talk to the dead there, Michael. Communicate with the dead. They know, Michael. That's all.
They're just sick people.
No, they're more than just ordinary sick people. You wouldn't talk like that if you had been living with them, and their messages and their prophecies all these months.
Wait a minute. Did you just say the dissolve that makes sense?
Let me tell you a story. When I first came to the center, I became friendly with a patient, a 13-year-old. All the time I was taking care of her, she never stopped chatting. She told me all about the underground highways. She said she went there every day.
Underground highway?
She said they all went there when they lost consciousness. Obviously, I felt great pity for the girl, but in time, I also feel tremendous fear. I was afraid of that poor, hopeless child. Her visions, dreams, messages terrified me. Then one night, she sat down to another patient, an older woman who looked surprisingly healthy. According to calculations, this woman still had a few months to live. The woman had just lost consciousness. Leave me alone, the girl said to me. Long now. She took the woman's, and just seconds later, started to shrieking and writhing in pain. The girl turned to me and said, I knew she was leaving us, and I didn't want her alone. She knew what was going to happen, Michael. She thought. From then on, my fear became uncontrollable. I felt defenseless next to her.
I understand.
Finally, my panic was so great that I refused to go anywhere near her. God forgive me. I felt secretly relieved when she herself finally dissolved. They know. That's why they're so dangerous to the people in power now.
The cleanup brigades. I've seen how they behave.
They're savages. I despise them. They're like predatory animals. Heartless and unscrupulous. The rest staff refuses to share the facilities with them. So their lockers are out in the hall. That's where they keep every need for their hunt expeditions. The GPSs, the disease detection tests, their badges. Each unit is made up of 2 soldiers, 1 doctor, and 1 nurse. I mean, doctors and nurses collaborating with those bloodthirsty animals. But then they say, what do you want? It's our job, and somebody's got to do it.
Yes, that phrase sounds familiar. It's bone chilling.
Police and criminals using exactly the same words in their act by their section. You gotta do what you gotta do. That seems to be the slogan of the executioners of the world.
Talk to my father, Michael. Tell him that I'm all right, that he shouldn't worry, that we'll be seeing each other soon, very soon.
Let's see. Inside, I only see dust and old papers and a tiny key. A very old piece of furniture, completely worm-eaten. Its decrepitude stands out even in this locker room. Let's see. Inside, I only see dust and old papers. Let's see if it's the key to this closet. Bingo! I'm not going to take any. A small red LED is blinking on all of them, an unmistakable sign that they've been used. It's an internal Army memo for the hospital's medical staff. The report talks about the failure to develop a cure for the dissolved, and what's even worse, the decision to finally abandon the search for one. According to one of the cleanup brigade's forums, this is the device they use to navigate during their raids, sort of like an electronic map. It looks like some satellites are actually still working after the Great Wave, something I could easily confirm if this contraption had batteries in it. Authorized Vehicle Pass. It's the ID that allows the cleanup brigades to get in and out of the hospital compound in their macabre ambulances. From what I can tell, the Army can pump you full of lead if you try to come through the gate without one of these. This door leads to a dingy back room. What the hell could be in here? I can hear the buzz of electricity coming from inside, but I can't figure out anything more without a little more light. The street is even more desolate and silent than it was before. I guess while I was in the subterranean hospital for the dissolved, the soldiers called the curfew. What are you doing out here, ma'am? What's the matter?
It's my brother. He's disappeared. We don't know where he is.
What do you mean he's disappeared?
Well, we haven't seen him since he spoke to you, since he ran out of the church. We've been searching for him for hours and can't find him anywhere.
And you don't have any idea where he might have gone?
No, he simply ran out of the door, completely out of control. I've never seen him so upset, and we haven't heard anything from him since. I just know that something terrible has happened to him. My brother is very sick and he shouldn't be out there alone and unprotected. I fear the worst.
Calm down. There's no reason to think that anything has happened to him.
I have a feeling that something awful has happened. I'm sure of it. Besides, the soldiers have already called the curfew. If they find him on the street alone and lost, in his condition, my brother is a very beloved and respected person, but those beasts don't care who he is.
I understand.
We have to get off the street. Please, if you see my brother, tell him to come home. Tell him we're waiting for him.
Of course. I'll do that.
The camp is closed, Rat. Get away from the gate.
But I have to come in. It's urgent. What happened?
There's no understanding you worms. Always wanting to get out of here. Once you're outside, you're dying to get back in. One of our soldiers was killed, and the camp will remain closed until the matter is cleared up. So take a hike.
There was an attack?
Yes. Someone hit one of the sentries in the watchtowers with a rock and made him fall out. He was killed instantly. Luckily, it seems there was a witness who saw the perpetrators launch the projectile, and they have been detained. But we never trust the testimony of a rat, so we're waiting for the criminals to confess, or for the murder weapon to turn up.
a couple of scared kids. Don't you see that? What are you planning on doing with them?
Killing an official is punishable by death, and martial law is quite clear in this respect. They acted as adults, and they will pay for their actions as adults. As soon as they confess, or we find the weapon they used to commit the crime, we'll take care of matters. Do you have a problem with the law being enforced?
You're nothing but a gang of warped psychopathic pigs.
One more word and I'll blow your head off right now, bastard. I couldn't care less what privileges that bracelet might give you. Get out of my sight.
Those pigs are gonna kill the boys, and it'll be my fault. I'll be responsible for their deaths. I can't let that happen. I have to do something, and fast. But what? Before I go down, I'll leave the heavy stuff here, in case the rope doesn't support my weight. Jesus! It's the corpse of Reverend Blake!
His neck is broken. In his delirium, he must not have seen the rope I left tied around the tree. It must have fallen from the top when he was trying to get down here. But what the hell was he looking for here? Let's see what's in here. A damp, moldy business card. It's almost illegible, but it looks like it's from a place called Beechwood Oracle. Most of the text is too worn off to read. All you can make out of it is an address, 24 Mammothswood Street. Good idea. I could use Reverend Blake as a scapegoat to protect those children. On the other hand, him being one of the most famous and respected men in the city, I doubt anyone would believe my story if I accused him of attacking the sentry in the tower. I'll get my stuff.
You have to let those boys go. They're innocent. You've got the wrong people.
What are you insinuating, rat? You'd better have a good reason for saying something like that, or we'll splatter your brains all over the wall of shame, and then use the kids for target practice.
I know who the guilty party is. I know who committed the crime. And I know where he is.
Start talking, rat.
Okay, here goes. I hope those pigs take the bait, because if they find out the truth, I'm a dead man. The murderer was a deranged man I met in the city a few hours ago. He told me he was desperate, tired of the humiliation and violence he had to face every day. He was determined to do something crazy. I didn't believe him at the time, but now I see that he wasn't kidding. After the attack, he committed suicide by jumping into the cesspit next to the camp road. You'll find him there. His face is unrecognizable from hitting the rocks and scraping against the rubble, but I'm sure you'll find the murder weapon next to his body.
We'll check out your story and see if it holds up.
We're approaching what looks like a body. It looks like that worm was right. Over.
What a mess. What the hell happened to his face?
Meh, who cares? We found the guilty party with the murder weapon. Let those kids go. And unlock the camp gate. Over.
You can come in now, rat.
I brought the morphine for your husband, just as I promised. This woman in this house gave me the chills. Let's get this over with as soon as possible.
So you've come for your money. Is that it, you rat?
You offered it to me. I didn't ask for anything in return.
No, you're right. Yeah, I guess you've earned it. That's what we agreed. I'm an honest woman. I think you have a very wrong impression of me. Take your money, Michael.
All right. Thank you and good luck. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other around the camp.
Wait! Michael! Is it money that you want? I have more money. I still have some savings. Those camp rats didn't manage to take it all. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I don't understand.
My husband is about to die. Without him, we'll be nobodies. Me and the kids. The soldiers don't even show us any respect anymore. A while ago, they broke in here to take them away, with no explanation. And it didn't matter to them in the least whose children they were. But if you stay here, all that could change. I still have some contacts. I could arrange for you to become the new camp mole. You're not like the rest of those rats out there, Michael. You're one of us. We'd be important again. We'd keep our privileges. Or do you want to be just another beggar in this sewer? I can't lower myself to that. I'd do anything. Stay here with us, Michael.
No. I don't doubt for a second that this woman would be capable of anything, like a cornered scorpion. I don't think that would be a good idea. It would be better for me to leave. Take good care of those boys. They're good kids.
Yeah, get out of here, you disgusting rat. You're all alike. In this camp, all you rats are alike. I don't need you. I don't need any of you. You're just waiting to see us fall. But I won't give you the satisfaction, you disgusting rats. I'll do what I have to do. But you won't see me crawling around in the trash like you.
A cornered scorpion, surrounded by flames that are closing in. I think it would be best not to speak to this woman ever again. She could be dangerous.